Hello everyone, my name is Alisé A Préjéan of Knowthyselfandheal.com, and I'm really excited to be here doing this video for you on Sag season, so Sagittarius season 2022. And I had planned to do this video quite a while ago, but this Sag season has brought a lot of unexpected adventures in my life, and so I would prepare to do the video thinking that I could do the video on these adventures, and then it wasn't quite the right timing or didn't quite work out. And so here we are. I'm now making the video. I'm really excited because I've been excited to do this video, and I trust this was the timing that is best. So I'm going to talk about some things that are happening this Sag season, and then I'd like to pull a card for collective contemplation for Sagittarius season 2022 as well. So interestingly, the new moon happened on 11/23, so November 23rd, 2022, right? This is right after the sun entered the Sagittarius sky. And so this is interesting for a couple of things, for a couple of ways, in my opinion, is because the sun just moved into Sag, and then we have a new moon immediately after. So this was at 1 degree of Sagittarius, and also interestingly, just a bit before the new moon, on the day of the new moon, right before the sun and moon went conjunct, right? And we're in a conjunction, which forms the new moon. Jupiter, the ruler of this new moon, so the planetary ruler or planetary guide of Sagittarius, went direct in Pisces. So that's really interesting and telling, really, because of a number of reasons, and we'll talk about it, is that Jupiter is the area where we have the opportunity to expand our consciousness. And so because of that, Jupiter expands whatever it touches. So if Jupiter is in an aspect to any of your planets in your natal chart as it stations direct, this is going to make that planetary function bigger for you, right? And what I love about this is that Jupiter, and it makes things bigger. And so this is why it's connected to opportunities and blessings, because it makes everything that is there bigger. And so there's always the opportunity to enhance and multiply and make whatever is there bigger. So you want to make sure that where it is making what you desire bigger, right? So this is where it's good to see when transiting Jupiter is making an aspect to any specific planet, or when it stations direct, you know, what's happening in what's being expanded in your life. And also we can recognize that we get the opportunity to really see how much what we believe, what we think, and what we believe gets expanded through that Jupiterian consciousness. And so I find it interesting that Jupiter was going direct, because this going direct in Pisces can really be making anything bigger. And it can also be that we can be looking at what is it that is part of that we may have picked up from the collective unconscious, which is associated or correlated to Pisces. What kind of beliefs have we picked up from the collective consciousness or collective unconscious that resonate with who we are, or that do not resonate with who we are? That's going to be made bigger, right? Which is a blessing. It's an opportunity to really see, is what I'm believing really resonant to who I am? Because what's going to happen is Jupiter's going to keep moving into Aries. And we know this retrograde initially began while it was in Aries and then retrograded back into Pisces. So this can be some cleaning up around what beliefs have I taken on that are resonant with who I am now and my current identity, and then what beliefs I may have taken on that really are not, and are not really resonant with who we are now becoming. So this whole new moon cycle, being that it happened right at the beginning of the sun entering the Sagittarius sky, can be this really initiating these new opportunities to really look at our belief structures, and are they really supporting the reality that we desire to experience and embody. And we can really have been using this new moon as an opportunity to not only explore those things, but also begin to form new beliefs that are in support of our current identity, who we are now. So in this new moon chart, Mercury was also in Sag, and it was in a new phase conjunction to Venus in Sagittarius. So anytime you have two planets that are in a new phase conjunction, it's like they're experiencing like a new beginning between those planetary functions in our own psyches. And so Mercury is about thoughts, perceptions, and how they inform or contribute to our beliefs. And then because it's a new phase with Venus, with our values, what we value, and how our personal truth is very much connected to what we value and love. And so this is why that we can have all kinds of different truths. Everybody can have a truth, a personal truth that isn't the same for others. And that's really connected to our own evolutionary purpose, our own evolutionary momentum, what it is that's going to support us in our own evolutionary purpose and themes in our lives. And so we can really be looking at, well, have we picked up thoughts, ideas, beliefs that really aren't resonant to our personal evolutionary path? And it doesn't, if they're not, it doesn't mean that, you know, those beliefs don't work for someone else. It just means that they may not work for us in our own evolutionary path. And so this is where we can have experiences where we get to see where we may have picked up beliefs from the collective unconscious that really are not ours, and that really do not support our personal evolutionary momentum. And so we can acknowledge that, let that go, also see it as a benefit that we get the opportunity throughout our lives to really look at as we learn more and more and more. We recognize that we're always finding beliefs that, you know, may have been supportive to us at one time, but are maybe, if we keep continuing to carry those beliefs, they would be burdensome to our own evolutionary momentum of the moment and of the now, right? So we can be expanding our own values according to our own evolutionary purpose at the moment, because the nodes of the moon are in Taurus and Scorpio. So we can be really looking at, well, what beliefs am I carrying around in the unconscious defaults, these settings, Pluto, Scorpio, that are now disempowering me because they're not resonant with my evolutionary momentum of the now, my desires of the now. And what I'm sensing vibrationally into what I desire to embody now. Mercury in this new phase conjunction to Venus can be a really wonderful opportunity to write a new story for our lives and to actually think in new ways and to begin to notice what thoughts do not resonate with our values and our value, and what thoughts and beliefs are actually not valuable or are not a resource for us to contribute to the reality that we wish to embody. So this can be some thoughts to consider throughout the Sag season, which is what I love about the fact that we had the Sag new moon right at the beginning of Sag season, because this can be this new beginning all month, right? Now, or throughout this exploration of Sag season 2022. So December 3rd, Neptune is going to go direct in Pisces. And so really be noticing your dreams, because there could be some pretty potent information in your dreams. And so I know for myself, I've been writing my dreams as much as possible in my journal, and I'm finding some really valuable information in regards to my own personal processes, my own journey of letting go of beliefs that do not serve me currently and do not serve my evolutionary momentum or my evolutionary purpose at the moment or now, right? So it can be a great time to be paying attention to your dreams. December 8th and 9th, the sun is going to oppose Mars retrograde in Gemini. And so that's going to be around 15, 16 degrees. You can see where that is in your chart, what house it's in. This is the aspect of life that this is happening in. And this is interesting because we could really be having something in the outside world that is shining a light on our own instinctual nature in regards to our thoughts, perceptions, beliefs. And again, you know, with Mars, this is always going to be looking at our instincts and going, wow, you know, like noticing I instinctually thought this or instinctually thought that, and that may be coming from the unconscious defaults of the past and how I created my emotional security of the past. And yet, this is actually not resonant with the evolutionary momentum of the reality I desire to build now. So we could be looking at the instincts in regards to how we perceive things, how we think about things, and also how we actually instinctually respond when anything in the outside world is reflecting thoughts, beliefs, perceptions that are different than our own, or that do not resonate with what we desire. And that if we experience irritation, frustration, anger, that those are cues to our psyche to see, okay, if I'm feeling these irritations, frustrations, angers, so what's going on in the unconscious? Am I really believing in my own thoughts, perceptions, ideas, beliefs? Because when we really do believe in our own thoughts, perceptions, ideas, beliefs, we will be allowing of others to have different thoughts, perceptions, beliefs, ideas, because we recognize that these thoughts, perceptions, ideas are really in support of our own personal evolutionary journey, our own personal evolutionary momentum, right? And Mars likes to act, it likes to move, right? So if we're finding ourselves in situations that we feel anger, resentment, you know, frustration, irritation in the outside world, because remember, anytime you have an opposition, it's often coming from something in the outside world. It's like a Libra component, right? So typically it will happen through situations, people, things, situations out there, right, that reflect back to us our own instinctual nature, right? So this is awesome cues to, okay, always the instinct is a great indicator of what's going on unconsciously. Are we actually fearing something that's different than us? Or are we actually holding our own value and values in the face of something different, and also allowing others to be different, allowing the other point of view, allowing others to have their values, and as we allow others to have their values or other situations to have something valuable to contribute, that we also get the opportunity to see, to allow our own values and our own contribution. And that also we could be really noticing that things may be reflected back to us that represent the old reality that potentially we desire not to embody anymore. So this is where we can not resist, because anything that's resisting is actually feeding. So what we resist, we feed with our energy. Rather, we can use Mars, instead of resisting something out there, we can utilize that energy towards harnessing our power towards that which we desire to feed. So this is a great opportunity to see what our instinctual nature is, and to see where it is we can apply our energy towards that which we desire. And, you know, if it does trigger us, there's an opportunity there. The opportunity to see, oh, what's the trigger? What's going on in the unconscious? And is there a way in which I can utilize that energy towards applying to the direction of desire, rather than feeding the energy of something that I don't desire, or that is not really what I am now? So now, December 10th, interestingly, so the day after this Sun opposition Mars, right? December 10th, Venus in Sagittarius at the very last degree, which is 29 degrees. There's 30 degrees in each sign. So Venus at the very last degree is squaring Jupiter, which is now direct at 29 degrees in Pisces. This is really potent. I love it. So how beautiful of an opportunity this is. So when Venus is in a last quarter square to Jupiter and Pisces at the last degree of the signs, right? This is a really energetic degree. The last degree of a sign, 29 degrees, is it's a quickening. So there's this quickening energy, and this is about really cleaning up the journey throughout that sign, right? And so this is the opportunity to really clean up, get the most out of this transit. Venus square Jupiter is going to be, is the beliefs that I've embodied in the past and up to now, is it really resonant with what I desire to embody now? Do those beliefs really support what I desire to embody now? And so the square is always going to be a tension, and so we can be experiencing this tension. It could be in relationships or relating to something in the outside world. So again, always looking at Mars energy when we're relating to. How are we instinctually perceiving that which we're relating to? And so that square is a opportunity to harness energy. And a square, it can be felt as a challenge, but that challenge is meant to build energy. And so if we look at it that way, we can see that there's this really wonderful opportunity that can be happening through circumstances, situations, people in the outside world that give us the opportunity to really harness the momentum of that which we desire, even in the face of something that seems like an opposition, that seems like it's a completely different point of view, completely different thought, perceptions, belief. You know, completely different values, right? But it's through recognizing that in our relationships, we get the opportunity, through being different, we get the opportunity to really get to know ourselves, what it is we prefer, what it is that we resonate to, what it is we don't resonate to. That's always an opportunity. And really, we're all supported in this multiverse. We are all supported. And so we are going to be supported in different ways in accordance to and correlated to our own evolutionary purpose and the themes that we're personally experiencing in our lives. So this Venus square Jupiter can be this pressure that gains momentum when harnessed to actually gain more momentum in embodying the beliefs that you desire, that you actually are supported by, to create what it is that you desire to embody, but also your dreams. Because Pisces is about dreams, making our dreams a reality, becoming the divinity that we sense in our own potential. And so we're here to embody that, whatever that is and whatever that means to us. And so the opportunities here are really wonderful, even if we find ourselves in oppositions with other people or situations, circumstances, things. Notice your thoughts, perceptions, beliefs, and really recognize that this is an opportunity to really notice the instinctual nature in regards to thoughts, perceptions, beliefs. And that we're always given these opportunities in the outside world that are potentially, can challenge our thoughts, perceptions, beliefs. But as we maintain our own center while relating to something that may be different than us, and we allow others that freedom, we also are then allowing our own freedom of our own thoughts, perceptions, beliefs to support us. So on December 7th, so going back a little bit, December 7th, recognize that Mercury enters Capricorn. Interesting, because Mercury in Capricorn can be this opportunity to funnel our consciousness in that which we desire. So funnel our thoughts, perceptions into that which we desire to embody, that which we desire to funnel our consciousness in. So, really looking at our thoughts and how we can utilize our thoughts, perceptions, and communications as an opportunity to really funnel consciousness in the direction of that which we desire to build in the world, that which we desire to build in our own lives. And so Mercury in Capricorn is another boon, right? Because this gives us the opportunity to harness those thoughts and actually funnel them in the direction of creating the parameters that will funnel our consciousness into this goal, this desire. Because we know Capricorn can be like funneling consciousness towards a specific goal. And that goal can be like just creating a reality for ourselves that we desire to experience and desire to embody. So we can potentially experience this as, this experiences where we may need to communicate what those parameters are with people. We may need to communicate our personal healthy boundaries so that we are funneling our consciousness in the desired outcome, right? So that we are really utilizing our thoughts and our beliefs as a support to creating and building the reality that we desire. And also emotional boundaries, because Capricorn is very much about emotional boundaries, because Capricorn is a yin energy and it sits across from Cancer. So this is the emotional realm, and how our thoughts and perceptions and beliefs are really a support structure that are really utilized as an opportunity to build a safe container for ourselves. We all do this. All of our thoughts, perceptions, beliefs are really serving a specific purpose to us personally. And so that typically is to actually funnel consciousness in the desired outcome, but also where it is we feel safe, how it is that we feel contained and safe to explore consciousness. And this actually creates a structure of consciousness by which we create. And then once that's created with Capricorn, then Aquarius, that container that we've created internally, then we actually bring into the outside world, Yang, Aquarius, right? So recognize that Mercury going through Capricorn can be this opportunity to, really set the parameters that are going to be beneficial for us personally and potentially in relationships and situations, things in the outside world that are going to give us the results that we're desiring. It's going to funnel consciousness into the desired reality that we are building in every moment. So there you have it. There's some of the major transits that I was focusing on. Now, I would like to pull a card for us for Sag season. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to go with the Black Moon astrology cards. This is them. And I do this on my Facebook page as well, so you can always go to my Facebook page if you want. Every month I do a card there too, and in that one we use the Egyptian Tarot. So you can check that out if you feel inclined on my Facebook page. But I feel inclined to do the astrology cards with my YouTube channel. So here we go. I'm gonna just shuffle the cards a bit. And this is really just a collective card pull. It's a point of focus for this Sag season. It's always fun to get some clues to ponder as we navigate these different aspects of our archetypal consciousness, right? So, where is Sagittarius in your chart? What house is it in? This is where really you are expanding your beliefs in specific and learning, having a higher learning, because we know Sag is about higher learning and about expansion and about, adding on to things, learning more, making things bigger, finding beliefs that support us in our structure of reality. And it's so much about joy and this jovial aspect of ourselves, right? And so where is that happening in your chart? The sun is shining a light on this aspect of your life. So what I'll be doing is picking a card to serve as clues for us in our journey through Sag season for 2022. Kind of feels like we're opening up a present. Ooh. So this is the card we get. Cancer, I feel. This is really potent, I think. Beautiful card. So now we know that Pluto is finishing up its journey through Capricorn. Pluto will go into Pluto will go into Aquarius in March of 2023. And Mars in its retrograde, when Mars went retrograde in Gemini, it was actually quincunx Pluto. And we know that Mars and Pluto are a very special relationship in our psyches, because Mars always acts on behalf of Pluto. So Mars, as we know, is our instinctual nature, and it is very telling in regards to what kind of unconscious default settings do we have? What's going on in the unconscious? It exposes where we may be carrying around fear and, also feelings of empowerment versus disempowerment. Also feelings in regards to our survival and our thriving. And so Mars, as it went retrograde, it was quincunx Pluto in Capricorn. This is interesting because a quincunx implies that there's an adjustment that needs to be made. And that when that adjustment is made, we are harnessing our capacity to refine how we're acting on our own behalf and our own empowerment. Now, with Pluto in Capricorn, this has been exposing our emotional vulnerabilities. And it's been exposing how we've structured consciousness on an internal level. Because Cancer and Capricorn are a yin energy. They're a yin form of consciousness. So this is consciousness moving inward, right? So this is where we're actually setting parameters on the internal level, how we're structuring our consciousness on an internal level. So Cancer, I feel Cancer is the first water sign. And so this is really about sensing through the emotional realm, sensing information in the emotional realm, through the emotional realm. And this is very much about, like our emotional security. I mean, do we feel safe? How do we create a place by which we feel at home, no matter where we are in the world? So this whole axis of consciousness, Cancer and Capricorn, is about the cultivation of emotional security, no matter where we are in the world, no matter what situation we are in the world. And so this is where, in this development of consciousness, it's quite fascinating how Gemini comes right before Cancer, right? And Gemini is where we've gone out and we've actually went out and learned about all kinds of different things in the outside world. And so we could be relating to all kinds of different points of view, all kinds of different ideas, thoughts, perceptions. And we gather all of this, we learn, we gather all kinds of information, right? And then with Cancer, it's like, okay, so what is it that actually makes me feel, or that I feel secure within? I don't know if I just want to point out, I don't know if I like the choice of the words that I instinctively was going to say, of like, making me feel, because how we feel has to do with our own thoughts, perceptions, and ideas. So, that saying where people say, oh, no one can make you feel disempowered, or no one can make you feel anything. And so this is a really powerful consideration, because we don't feel anything that isn't based on a thought or a perception or a belief. And remember, when we were exploring Gemini, we're always going to be then exploring the opposite sign, Sag. So Sagittarius, Jupiter, beliefs. So our thoughts, perceptions, ideas then form beliefs, right? So then as we move into Cancer Capricorn, it's like, okay, what thoughts, perceptions, ideas support my emotional safety? So this is why people can have different perceptions in regards to different information. And so we have to recognize that just looking through the way that the zodiac is laid out, the way that the sky is laid out, the way these archetypes build on each other, right? In our own consciousness, and it's this wheel of consciousness that we continuously create momentum, right? Or experience ourselves as expanding consciousness. That it's these thoughts, perceptions, ideas that actually support our feelings. So when we're having a feeling, we can really look at, well, if I'm feeling fear, then I must be thinking, believing something that actually isn't supporting my trust in my own evolutionary momentum, or in my own connection to soul and my own soul's path, right? But also, we could be like, oh, well, if I'm experiencing a fear, then it may be that, like, as I go into that feeling, what is actually happening right there? Then we get the opportunity to see, am I believing something that isn't really true? Or is this actually just an opportunity for me to say, I think I'll move in a different direction so that I create the emotional security for myself. So this makes a lot of sense to me with Sag season, because when we understand that the psychological development that happens from Gemini to Cancer, right? But also then, moving down the line, Scorpio, and this unconscious defaults of Scorpio and Taurus around our values and our evolution, as well as what's hidden in the unconscious, and these automatic defaults that we've set, that we associate with our primal instincts, that we associate with our survival and thrival, right? And then Sag, we form beliefs based on our own exploration of the unconscious Scorpio. And whatever work we've been doing in Scorpio, if we've been really looking at, are these unconscious defaults empowering me, or are they actually disempowering me? Because if it's disempowering me, it's actually not valuable. It's actually not resourcing me, right? Taurus, Venus. So when we move from Scorpio to Sag, we can be, now that the sun's shining a light on Sag, we can be looking at, well, are my beliefs or are others' beliefs, so in other words, maybe I picked up beliefs from others, is it really resonant with my empowerment? Because if it's not mine. It's not meant for me, right? And we can really sense that with our feelings. So when whatever it is that we may be feeling through the exploration of Sag is an opportunity to recognize and explore, why would I be feeling this? What is it that I'm thinking, perceiving, believing that is actually supporting this emotion or supporting this feeling? And how can I can utilize that as a resource for me in recognizing, are there beliefs I need to let go of? Or is there another belief that would be supporting me in a more current way? And so, this is really so much about the exploration of truth and what is really true, what is really true for you and to who you are becoming. Because again, Jupiter's moving into Aries, It will move into Aries. And so we have an awesome opportunity right now to be really exploring, are our thoughts, perceptions, beliefs really supporting our empowerment? And if they're not, we get the opportunity to be aware of that and then find new beliefs that are in support of how we desire to feel and our empowerment as well. And in accordance to who we are becoming, our identity of now, and our values, and what is actually going to resource our identity and that which we desire to embody. So I hope this is helpful. I would love to hear if you have any insights about this card or about anything that I've said in this video. I would love to hear your comments, your experiences, whatever it is that you would like to share. And here's the card again, just for one more take a look, because it's so beautiful. And really, this can really be such an awesome opportunity to notice what you're feeling and recognize that always there's a feeling, whatever it is we're feeling, it's actually informing us that we're in alignment with what is supporting us, or we're not in alignment with what is supporting us in some way, shape, or form, thoughts, perceptions, or beliefs, right? So I hope this is helpful, and if you do find it helpful, please feel free to share the video or to like the video. And of course, if you feel inclined, you're welcome to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next video.